Good morning. Here was our nice little tent site last night. A little bit closer to the trail than we would usually like, since that's the trail. But really, nobody came through late or anything. And this is the little stream that we got our water from. It doesn't look like much, but right up in here, there's a little bit of flow. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Right in there. Coming down, and that's where we were able to get just enough water. Just took a couple of minutes. A few minutes maybe. Anyway, alright, we're moving along today. We've got lots of ups and downs, a lot of climbing to do. But by the end of the day, we should be just within a few miles of our next resupply point, where we're going to take a zero. And so yeah, today's our last full day for a couple of days. So we're looking forward to getting in, like always, eating some real food. Alright, going up our first climb today. Way off in the distance, see the ghost of a big old mountain in the clouds. We're not sure what that is. Maybe Mount Baker. We'll find out a little bit later, maybe. Well, I just stopped and took a look at the map, and actually we've just circled around, and that is Mount Rainier from way back now. So that's kind of cool to see it from this angle. Wow, it's just massive compared to everything else, huh? Hope you can see it a little bit. Well, I managed to get a cell signal a little bit ago. It said there was a 20% chance of rain over the course of the next hour, and then none for the rest of the day. And it just started raining. So, kudos to the weather people. And then tomorrow, well, tonight, really, there's later in the evening, there's a, I don't know, 10 to 20% chance of rain for the evening and a bunch of the night. And then early tomorrow morning, probably before we're even awake or about that time, the chances ramp up to 30, then 40, 50%. And then by noon or afternoon, it's like, 70, 80%. So that's tomorrow and Saturday. So tomorrow and Saturday, it's raining for sure. The good news is that we'll do as many miles as we can today. We'll be definitely less than 10 miles from Snoqualmie Pass, where we're resupplying tomorrow and where we're zeroing. And so, good timing, we'll be off trail for most of the rain. Woohoo! If our planning only went that well all the time. This is Mirror Lake, and it is a gorgeous little lake. We thought about staying here, but it's just not quite as far as we want to go today. And also, there's a lot of locals staying here already, and so we'll go a little further, maybe just another couple miles, and find somewhere perfect for us. All right, good morning. We are up early, trying to get out of here. It rained a little bit last night, a decent amount, but not tons. But there's definitely lots of rain coming, and we want to get the heck out of here as fast as we can, get going. We got so lucky there was no rain. For us to get out of the tent, get packed up, so we're dry and we're ready to go. So we're going to go as fast as we can, get into town. We're going to be soaking. It's going to be pouring on us when we get into town, but at least we'll be in town. We've had a little rain this morning, but it's not very cold, so hasn't been much of an issue. And now the rain is mostly stopped for temporarily, and so we kind of started to heat up a bit. And unfortunately, You know, the trail has been really nice dirt trail for days. This morning it's kind of all rocks. And it's making our going a lot slower because, of course, you know, you got to pay a lot more attention to everything. It was dark when we started, and it's harder to go through that in the dark. And then also got to be extra careful if things are slippery because of the water. So anyway, we're having to be patient. Take it easy. We're just walking underneath the ski lift here, and all of a sudden the clouds are starting to part and we can see all these buildings and a whole ski center. And look at that, the highway. We have been hearing the highway now for at least a couple hours. Couldn't see anything, just tons of whiteness. And you know, and it rained moderate, pretty good for quite a while. You know, an hour or two maybe. We've been hiking for about 3.5 hours. And so anyway, the rain's died down now, and we're just coming into the pass and should be figuring out how to get into town here soon. We're going to be staying at the Summit Inn tonight, which we don't hear great things about actually, but we're gonna stay there just because there's the only place that has private rooms, and hopefully get some good food. All right, we made it. We are in our hotel room at the Summit Inn in Snoqualmie Pass, and we got checked in early, which is good. Went down to the Summit Inn restaurant and had breakfast. I had 2 pieces of bacon, 2 pieces of sausage, 3 eggs, a plate of hash browns that were huge, and 4 pieces of French toast, and a bunch of Diet Coke. And I'm kind of stuffed, but I'm not that stuffed. It's wearing off fast, and I'm so hungry all the time. So anyway, we're here. You can see I'm wearing my rain gear because it's the only thing I'm not washing. So I just went down to they had laundry here, and so went down, put in a load, try to get our stuff as clean as possible. One of the things that we did this time is washed our socks out in the bathtub here before we put them in the laundry. And very necessary. I mean, we just put them in the tub, got them soaking wet, and then, you know, wrung them out under the faucet. And I mean, did that like 10 times, and it took 10 times before they came out even remotely the clean water. They were bad. So anyway, hopefully they'll get clean. Picked up our box that we had shipped here. Right there is our box. So we'll have to open that, see what's in there, see what else we need, maybe go resupply. There's a grocery store next door. There's a Chevron next door. Between those two, they should have anything that we don't have, or, you know, good enough. And yeah, and then I don't know that we have that much else to do. Got some things to dry out. You know, everything's a little wet, so we got to clean the tent out and dry it out. But yeah, we're gonna do some laying around, and maybe flip the TV on, take some naps, and yeah, that's good enough. So see you in a couple days. All right, it's about 6 o'clock in the morning, a couple days later now, and getting ready to head back out. We stayed here at the Summit Inn, which was really fantastic, and there's a restaurant attached to it. We had a couple of breakfasts at. It was great. The Chevron over there we used to kind of resupply, and the grocery store, but we had a box sent here, so we didn't need very much resupply. We mostly used those for snacks. I bought a lot of junk and just kept it in the room and just ate constantly, and kind of almost made myself sick, but I just had got to eat calories, so I just ate and ate and ate and ate and ate. And right over there is the Commonwealth. We had a dinner there. That was really nice as well. And we'll head just not very far, just maybe a quarter mile down the road over here in front of the Chevron. And we will head up into the mountains right over there and behind the building after we cross I-90, and then we'll be moving on to Snoqualmie, where we should be in about 3.5 days. All right, here we go. Under I-90 and slowly into the trees. Hope it's a good day and a good 3.5 days to Snoqualmie. And while we're walking to Snoqualmie, we'll be talking and trying to make plans about what we're going to do, because when we get there, we've got another one of those things where we have a fire closure and we maybe have to do it out and back to get in all the stuff that's open, all the trail that's open. Or maybe we can go in and there's potentially a way to kind of get out, kind of like we did last time, doing a road walk that is pretty long, but not as long as coming all the way back. And so we'll be working on that plan. It's a little different up here today. We're only an hour in or whatever, but it's definitely warmer. It's been, I think, about 50 degrees since we got out here, which doesn't sound tremendously warm, but I'm pretty sure it didn't even get into the 50s the last couple days we were out here coming into town. And we didn't hike for more than maybe 15 minutes or so before we had to take our rain gear off because it was just too hot. Still very humid out though. Lots of fog, as you can probably tell. But it feels good, and we're hoping, it stays similar temperatures all day. It doesn't get too hot. But it's nice also to not be freezing, so don't have to wear gloves. That's fantastic. And no rain for a couple of days, it sounds like. Today is, I think, Sunday. And supposed to have some rain on Tuesday. And then nothing in the forecast for the foreseeable future. So we'll see how that goes. And temperatures are supposed to stay about like this for a few days. But then later next week, at least in this area, they're supposed to be getting up into the 70s and maybe ultimately even the 80s, which will be a bummer, but we really don't know how that's going to translate to further north. So we'll just wait until we get there and see what it's like. Well, we have been climbing solid for 2 hours now, so a lot, and it's gotten colder, as you might expect. I don't know how high up we are, but we've climbed a lot, and it's down into the 40s, so hands are starting to get cold, and nose running. But it's still pretty nice. It's not as cold as it was, that's for sure, last week. Hey, we just came across the 2,400 mile mark on the PCT. So, if you've forgotten, PCT is around 2655. So that means we are 255 miles from the border. Although we won't be hiking all of that because of fire closure. But wow, 255 miles away from Canada. Won't be long. It's really been a beautiful morning. Clouds just in the mountains, just like that, everywhere. I mean, too much even to just try to capture it all. And now we've just come across something called the Kendall Katwalk. And it looks to be kind of a, well, almost a knife edge thing, but we're not going to go right up the knife edge. We're going to probably go along the right side here. I'll bet this is super amazing when there aren't so many clouds and you can see down the side. You might think that's smoke, but it's just the clouds. It's really hard to capture this because up so high, but it really just towers over where we're at right now. Amazing. This is really pretty epic out here today. I mean, these mountains and these views are not just beautiful, but they're so complex. You know, this hasn't been like the other mountains that we've gone through where, you know, there's a ridge on one side and a ridge on the other side and a valley in the middle. I mean, these are just all over the place, kind of crisscrossing, and I don't know. Anyway, it's hard to explain, but it's amazing, and of course the clouds just add to it. This is the beautiful lake we were looking at from the other side. So let's see over there if I can get to it. There you can see our trail we were on up top, angling down and then cutting back. Anyway, we worked our way all the way down, back and forth and back and forth, and then we just came up this side. And now we are wandering up here. And we haven't gotten any water today since we left. And we're coming up shortly on a couple of small ponds, I think, that are just barely full enough to use. So we'll probably get a little water there and then be having lunch in, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes, something like that. We were sitting right here eating lunch, and Tiger Lily just looked up and saw mountain goats on the mountain. And there, I guess that's as far in as I can zoom. And there's one way over to the right. You see that one?
Yeah. Right by the trail.
That's cool. Well, we're heading right up there, so we'll see. Maybe we can get a better view. Well, lunch was good. We managed to find a place that was not too cold. It's gotten colder now. Not colder than earlier, but it had warmed up to almost 70 when the sun was out. But then it dropped back down to 50 and there was a little bit of a breeze. But anyway, we found a good spot where there wasn't any wind. And it was good. And I actually had a salmon packet. Salted salmon that Tanner bought me a while back. And it was delicious. It was so tender and yummy, so made for a good lunch. All right, let's go see if we can find some mountain goats. Well, we're still trying to climb up to see the mountain goats, but as you can see, the clouds are setting in. In fact, can't see that much up there, but they are up ahead here, so we're getting close. What? We were looking up, videoing the mountain goats up here. We started to walk, and bam, they just walked right around the corner. So they're right in our path. I don't know how we're going to get around. They don't seem too worried.
if she would walk past.
Look at how fast they move. Okay, well, let's go so they can come back up. That was really incredible. I mean, we were just a few feet away from them and looking up at their cousins way up there. And all of a sudden, there they were. I think they were waiting for us to go away so they could walk the trail, and we were waiting for them to go away. So we just started to walk towards them. I had no idea what they would do. They would be aggressive, the mama or anything, but she just immediately jumped right off the trail, and they followed her, the babies, so they went back behind and went down around us, and we're moving on. So, wow, that was a really cool encounter. We stood there for quite a while just watching them interact. Really neat. Really neat. Now that we've gone just a tiny distance, we look back and we can see them just back right below our trail. Wow, really amazing to see them, and also to see mom interact with the kids. Oh, we're coming around the corner and coming through a pass and see a brand new landscape. My gosh. Wow. Just another day in Washington Cascades. Wow, look at that. That's pretty amazing, huh? We sure have seen a lot of cool things today.